Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. So you want to return to or start playing MapleStory, but have no idea which server to choose? Well, then you came to the right video. As someone who has spent way too much time in this game, I have a pretty clear picture of the advantages and disadvantages of different servers. But we're not here to talk about my crippling MapleStory addiction, but about which server is right for you. This video is based on servers available in MapleStory Global, and I'll discuss the differences, advantages and disadvantages between the two types of servers and which servers are more populated than others. So without further ado, let's dive right in. There are two regions in MapleStory Global, one for EU players and one for NA players. Both regions have different servers hosted on different continents. That means that your ping to each server will be different. As someone from the Netherlands, I can really notice that my ping is a lot better in the EU servers than in the NA servers. Lower ping usually means that looting by yourself is faster, NPC dialogue appears faster, and some classes still have ping reliant skills, so before picking a server, make sure to pick the region that is close to where you live for the best ping. Do keep in mind that ping might vary per country and per ISP. Of course, you don't have to pick a server based on your ping, but I do recommend it. As the next thing that you should know is that there actually are three types of servers. There are event servers like the Burning World and the Yeti and Ping Bean World. Those servers usually appear from time to time during special events and have several benefits, but you cannot have your main character there. There are two types of servers that are always available, and those are the regular servers and the reboot servers, and that's where you'll be building up your account. There are some big differences between the two, and both have different playstyles and ground rules. So let's start with the reboot server. In the reboot world there is no trading, so there is no in-game economy that can be used to purchase gear from other players. Gear cannot even be traded within your own account, but to make up for this no trading, monsters will drop gear that only the class that you're playing can use. Because of this limitation, it will be harder and more time consuming to get your own gear compared to other non-reboot servers. However, this also means that it will most likely feel more satisfying to work towards and complete those gear goals yourself. Getting gear in Reboot can be very time consuming. For example, I am right now working on my arcane gear. This is endgame gear and will take months to collect. But it doesn't always have to be like that though. If you could get carried by other players, some of the boss gear will be a lot easier to get. However, some rare drops like the pitched boss set might still take a while to get. I've been defeating Chaos Pepper Ladders for almost a year now and I still haven't found this boss accessory. To make things easier, most burning events do reward temporary gear that will get you a long way, and those will help you overcome the first hurdles when you're starting a new character. In the regular servers, Maplers can use scrolls to upgrade their gear, however those have been removed from Reboot, and the same goes for the additional bonus potential lines that regular server items can have. There is only Star Force, regular potential and bonus stats. This means that Reboot players, their items cannot get as strong as their regular server counterparts, but it also means there's a lot less hassle with upgrading and there's no relying on overpowered scrolls that are only available from certain paid random boxes. To counter this lack in power, there is a special beginner skill that all Reboot players get. This skill increases your final damage and helps quite a bit to take down the stronger monsters in Reboot. Because all normal monsters in Reboot have way higher HP compared to their regular server cousins, but they also net more EXP, this will make grinding harder earlier on, but after level 200 it actually does get better. There is less emphasis on Star Force monsters grinding like in the regular servers, because the regular monsters scale pretty nicely as well, making room for more maps to grind in compared to the very streamlined experience in the regular server, at least below level 200. Another big advantage of Reboot is that some cash items that are paid for with Anish cash, so with actual money in the regular servers, cost mesos in the Reboot server. Hyper teleport rocks, miracle circulators used to reset inner ability, wedding tickets, unlimited buff freezers, Jet's link skill, cosmic dust, whatever that is, all that can be bought with in-game currency, and most importantly, so can cubes. In the Reboot server, players cannot craft their own cubes to reset their potential lines. Instead, cash cubes can be bought with mesos, which removes a big part of the other heavily monetized potential system. Items like flames and bags, which cannot be crafted in Reboot, can also be bought in general stores for mesos as well. So, as you might have noticed, getting mesos is super important. It also helps that the meso rate in Reboot is about 5 times as high as the regular servers, meaning that monsters will drop more mesos, boss crystals, Ursus and Maple Tour all will give more mesos as well compared to the regular server, making it a lot easier to farm your own mesos. I could easily farm billions of mesos if I wanted to by simply doing my weekly bosses and by actually grinding. This also means that getting meso gear is a lot more important earlier on in Reboot, as well as drop gear to get those boss drops drops that are otherwise impossible to get because no trading, and mesos and drop rate familiars. Looting is extremely important in Reboot, so all players get an additional free 5-hour duration pet that regular server players don't get, as well as a special box if they start in Reboot server that will contain some mesos and some other useful goodies. Besides those 2 free pets, there are only 3 bosses in the game, Hilla, Hard Hilla and the Toad boss from Ninja Castle, that have a chance to drop a pet. So getting one of those can be hard if you're unlucky and if you're not willing to spend any money on buying a pet from the cash shop. Some events, like the Fairy Bro event, do give out free pets, but those are a bit more rare and don't happen that often. Let's also quickly go over some of the systems that the Reboot server does not have. For example, there are no red familiar cards available in a Reboot cash shop, making it a lot harder for Reboot players to optimize their familiars. There also are no double EXP cards in the cash shop either, and some game features like Monster Life are not available, and there's also no meso market, though mesos cannot be bought for NX cash in this server. This is all I could think of for the Reboot server. Now to quickly mention what is there for the regular servers. Those servers focus a lot more on trading as well, so besides your regular progress, besides your grinding, your bossing, you're also spending a lot more time trading. If you like to be a merchant and make big bucks, then these non-Reboot servers are the way to go. Trading is important for everyone, as you can purchase cash items like clothing and pets through the auction house. Cubes cannot be bought or sold, so instead people buy already cubed gear or focus on crafting cubes themselves. It is very much possible to be a free-to-play player in the regular servers, but it will be harder in the lesser populated servers. More about which servers are more popular compared to others later in the video. And if you are enjoying today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more MapleStory videos. Make sure to hit the bell notification to never miss a video. There also are way more ways to upgrade your gear in the regular server with scrolls and bonus potential. There are a ton of different scrolls out there, and some rare scrolls that are only obtained through cash random boxes like from the Marvel machine. And while those can usually be traded, it is still difficult to obtain those for free-to-play players. Leveling up is also slightly different in the regular server, at least up until level 200. You'll be mostly focusing on grinding at Star Force monsters, as those give the best EXP, so from level like 95 onwards, you'll be at those monsters. Also, the level penalty is a lot less steep in the regular server than it is in Reboot. In a regular server, it is possible to grind at monsters 20 levels above your level, while in Reboot it's highly recommended to maybe grind at monsters like 5 levels above your level max. Grinding is pretty nice in a regular server and goes a lot faster. You can also, for example, buy double EXP cards with NX cash to level up even faster. It is also a lot easier to switch mains on the regular server, as you can just buy new gear in the auction house or make your old gear tradable through Scissors of Karma. You can even transfer your symbols through a special item that can be bought in the Legion store. Leveling to at least level 200 will go faster in the regular server if you make proper use of all the systems and items that are available there. As long as you're making mesos on the regular server through either selling items in the auction house or grinding and bossing, you'll be able to get maple points through the meso market to purchase as much NX cash as you want to. This is easier said than done though, especially if you're not familiar with ways to play the market to make some mesos. Keep in mind that stuff like hyper teleport rocks, wedding tickets, circulators and others all cost NX cash in the regular server and are not available for mesos like in the Reboot server. So actually being able to buy some maple points, which is basically a substitute for NX cash, is highly important in the regular server. And like I already mentioned at the Reboot part, there's also Monster Life in the regular server. This Farmville-like minigame can help your character get a few bonus stats as well. And on the final note, the special Burning World server only allows transferring characters to regular worlds, so that's another advantage that regular servers have. I think I mentioned everything, but if I did forget something, feel free to leave a comment to let the world know. Population-wise, the server with the most population in MapleStory Global is the NA Reboot server, which holds about 50% of all characters created, so it's very popular. Then Bera, which holds about 16%, then Scania, then Aurora, then Elysium, then Luna, and then the E-Reboot server, which is also the youngest server. That doesn't mean that the less popular servers are dead or anything like that, but do keep in mind that for the regular servers like Elysium and Luna, it might be harder to merchant as there's a bit less population. Not impossible by any means, but it could be slightly harder. Also, if you're Dutch, you have to play in Reboot. As all Dutch players are trade blocked, it is better to play in a server that is actually designed for no trading. And because people always ask me about my opinion as well and which server I prefer, after having played both regular server and Reboot server, and I both got 8k Legion on all of them, so I got like 40, 50, level 200 characters on both servers. For me, I really enjoyed the Reboot server a lot more than the regular server. There are less upgrade options for my items for me to worry about, and being able to buy cubes whenever you want is really fun. When I was still playing on the regular server, my character was stuck progression-wise because there wasn't a big enough economy in the Luna server that I was in. I couldn't really merchant that easily, and I couldn't really buy the gear that I wanted either. It was very hard for me to make mesos without investing a lot of time. And it also didn't help that after investing a lot of time in events to get some of the cash cube rewards that those events gave me, my items actually got worse stats and I had to wait for the next event or farm even more to create my own cubes. It felt like such a waste of time to spend all this time participating in events only for my gear to get worse stats. I never buy cubes for NH Cash in the regular server, even with the free NH Cash that I get as being part of the Next On Creator program, so there was no fun for me to be had in the regular server in that regard, like upgrading wise. I did like it and I could easily fund my mules, and I do miss that in Reboot, like I could just buy some high level gear, slap it on my mules, and leveling was really easy. But I still have plenty of time to grind my mules myself in Reboot, so personally I prefer the Reboot server and its slower but more streamlined progression. So which server are you going to pick or are you going to play in? Let me know in the comments. And as always, many thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian, Hanoy, FLX, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Cody Mora, Wiley, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, Saffronyx, Lorenzo, BG Extremes, Anwar NHI, Frank Bouget, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Beamer WT, Knifesu, Chen125, Cloudfix, Gusus Rodriguez, Froggy, Gleason, Brandon Cam, Vira, Trevor, Michael Machaka, Ratius, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Stevie Zhang, Afterlord_MS, Hailpan, ceemak, Striker Elk, Martin Panzik, Niu, Tidal1 Pan, Victor Sunstrom, Radicals the Alien, Riser Are Gummy Bullet, Lucky Beats, Lovebird, Rev Soli, 32655, Mathias Simonsson, Mr. Narc, Galando Belavia, I'm Disappointed, my name is Coppersan and I'm super cute XOXO, PC Game Life, Yo Mama, Dante Victory, Stanislaus Xumo Vegas, Level 241, Paladin Reboot, Caveman oh yeah, Crazy Ladette, The Passenger and Gabriel Eck. Thank you all so much for watching, stay safe and happy mapling!